Alright boys, welcome back to the channel. We're talking a specific stock today, NIO. Now, I know all the boys are going crazy over this stock. It has done some wild things over 2020. But now the hype continues into Battery Day Part 2. I'm kind of just joking, but then again, I'm kind of not. I'm going to go over specific charts that I'm looking at on this stock, because that's actually where I come from, is the TEA part of trading. But I am not blind to what news does and the big sell-offs that we actually do get. So hopefully we use both today. Before I get into the juicy content, I need you to do one thing and one thing only. Hit that subscribe button below. It does wonders for the channel. We are growing and I have you guys to thank. So thank you. And if you're new, welcome. But let's get started. NIO is the stock that went from around $5 to start the year to around $46 right now. It's had a pretty crazy run. And I think the big question going to 2021, will NIO be that stock again? Most likely not. Now, they're not going to have that same $5 to $46, $50 run. It's just not going to happen. But looking at the stock, is there room to keep going? 100% there is. But the question is, will there be a pullback in the beginning of the year? Kind of a touchy subject. As far as bad news, I don't think there's really any bad news in the works. I don't think the China delisting will be a thing. And NIO is one of the companies that is pushing to get all of the regulations met. And then as far as good news, it's a major growth stock. We're seeing them growing into new sectors and new areas around the whole market and globally. And now there is talks of NIO moving into the EU market, which opens up a whole nother league and more growth. Do I think there's a cap on this growth? Of course. I do not think they'll ever really come to America. I don't think it'll be a thing here, but there's still a lot of other continents. And now we get to the topic why everyone came to the video, NIO Day. Don't think NIO Day is going to provide anything with an instant boost as far as earnings, revenue, things like that. But ultimately, it's going to be very bullish on the long term. A great way to look at this is Battery Day. Battery Day was very bullish for Tesla stock, but in the short term, it had no effect. I really do believe that if you weren't long term into the stock, you were pulling out right then. But the real growth investors really saw what Elon was saying and all the positives from Battery Day. There were tons. So you do not think NIO Day will be as bullish as Battery Day was for Tesla. But I think there's going to be a lot of upside. The more they shed light on where their potential growth is going to come from, the more the stock has to run. It's already growing at rapid speeds in one specific market. Imagine once it starts spreading. And I might say they're doing a great job in that market. But before we get into any more news or that boring type of content, let's go right into the chart so we can look at targets in some short-term areas for the new year. Because most likely if you're in this, you're trading calls or you're short-term. So you want to know where we're going to be in 1 week to 2 weeks. And that's where the charts come into play. Okay, so a few days ago, I actually made a video on NIO, and I did point out that it was very bullish. Looking on a longer time scale, this is the 15-minute chart, but it's kind of zoomed out pretty far. So you'll see back into early November. As you see, we flipped the support and resistance, which is that $39 range. We tested it multiple times, and now we're actually trending to the upside. Actually more elongated, not very impulse. So impulses are very quick moves up, which we oftentimes we're seeing with NIO on the support, a quick bounce up and then a drop. But actually right here, we're seeing a slow and gradual move up with a retrace and now bouncing back up. This is very bullish in a longer term chart. Lots of times when you see those really quick volatile movements, you can also see really violent corrections. This isn't the same. As we dipped, you saw it was elongated as well. A very healthy looking chart. Now, the stock looks equally as bullish, continually flagging and then breaking up, flagging, breaking up, and now flagging again. And I would be willing to bet money going into the 31st that we will be, in fact, bullish. I am targeting this $52 range, which I mentioned in my last video. I think that will be a very heavy resistance or support if flipped. If we do flip it, I think there's tons of room and a high possibility we make a new high. Flipping $52 will be very key. This is an extreme support and resistance, and I don't see it being easy. But if we're going to hit a new high, I believe it also needs to come before the 8th. I think shortly after Battery Day, we will see some dip on the stock, unless we get some really bullish short-term news, which I don't think will be released like I mentioned before. The stock looks great for options plays going up to that $52 range very quickly also. The very bullish side is going to come in next week. How much volume we're going to see from investors is kind of a hit or miss. We don't know. And if anyone's saying that we're going to see a lot of volume next week, they're kind of lying to you because they don't know what the future holds. Especially when it comes to volume, no one knows what volume's going to pick up unless you're kind of insider trading, which unfortunately we're not. We're on YouTube. So if you're just your average trader and you're making calls, Honestly, the safe bet is longs up to the $51.50 to $52 range. And I say $51.50 if you're kind of conservative, taking profits early. If we do go past $52 and we start to get that volume and that buy pressure, opening up calls on a retest of the $52 range is going to be very nice. Let me draw you a quick little picture. Let's say we break up, come down, break back up. This is something we'd want to see. Now the stock starts to come back down. As it gets close to that dotted line, that's where I would start layering my calls. So we get choppy movement and come down. This is where I would buy. Even if we dip a little bit below it, I'm still banking on it coming back up. Now I know I'm a great artist, but let me tell you something, it just gets better. Now guys, I'm not a guru, I can't see the future, but I like to think that I'm kind of good at this type of stuff. Go look at my past videos, see what I've done before. I think I'm pretty good with my hands. Overall guys, I do see NIO stock going to that $52 range. I think there's a high possibility we break past $52, but I would be stupid and foolish not to say that I would take some profits around that $52 mark. And if you break above $52, there's a high possibility you get a retest of that $52 range to add more calls. So guys, don't be greedy, play it safe. That is gonna wrap it up for this video, guys. If you are not subscribed, you're only hurting yourself. Also, while you're down there, make sure you leave a thumbs up. Also does wonder for the community and helps my self-confidence. I am posting trades daily. I am dropping videos daily. That's it for today, boys. Namaste.